Hello and welcome back to another Torah Tuesday. Today we're beginning a new series on the image of God. What does it mean to be made in God's image? Many of you are aware that I wrote a book entitled Bearing God's Name, Why Sinai Still Matters. My current book project is entitled Being God's Image, Why Creation Still Matters. So it's a topic I've been thinking and reading a lot about. For centuries, people have debated what does it mean to be made in God's image. Some people have suggested, it's a rational capacity. People can think and they're self-conscious and self-aware, unlike animals. Therefore, that's what makes humans different, and that must be what it means to be made in God's image. Others have said, no, it has more to do with our relationality, our capacity for relationship that mimics the Trinity. Others have said it's our morality or our emotional capacity. But while it's true that humans do have capacities that set us apart from animals, I don't think that's the core sense that's being communicated when we're told that we were made in the image of God. So I want to show you the Hebrew word for image and why I think it means something different. Genesis 1:26 reads, "Then God said, 'Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness.'" The word image there is tselem in Hebrew, and it doesn't occur very many times in the Bible, but we can learn a lot about it by comparing it with words in sister languages that were around ancient Israel. In the Akkadian language, the word is tsalmu, starts with that same sound, tsalmu and tselem. And tsalmu refers to not something intangible, not a capacity or something like rationality. It doesn't even mean an idea or a concept. It's very concrete. A tsalmu is a statue, either of a king or of a deity. A statue of a king would be placed at the edge of his realm to show that he had conquered that territory, and it would stand in. Nobody thought that was actually the king, but that statue would signal to everyone else this is a place that he owns, that he has dominion over. Similarly, he makes humans in his image and then installs them as his functionaries in the created world he made, as if to say, I have dominion over this planet. This creation is mine. Perhaps you thought immediately about the Israelite tabernacle or temple, which doesn't have an idol, unlike the temples of other ancient Near Eastern religions. And it's true, the most holy place of the Israelite temple does not have a statue of Yahweh. He has asked them not to make an image of him because he's already made an image. He's already installed humans as his representatives in the created world. God does not want to be imaged by wood or stone, but by the living humans that he has created. Now, it's important to realize that the creation of humans in God's image does not mean that we are divine. We are not to be worshipped, but we are set apart from the rest of creation, from the other animals and from the land, and we're given a unique task. And we can read that task in Genesis 1:26, where it says, "So that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, or over the land, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So here's the bottom line. We are the image of God. That's our identity. To be human is to be God's image. And that's an incredible status and role that we have to play. The implication of this is that we have rulership over the rest of the world that God has created. But we do not rule creation in order to exploit it, but to care for it and to help it flourish. We're supposed to ensure its fruitfulness by guarding it and keeping it. Think of it. The first man created in Genesis 2 is appointed as a gardener. That's his human vocation. So our rulership does not oppress or exploit, but is benevolent, selfless, and creative. That is what it means to be human. That's the project in which we are invited to participate. And now I'd like to invite each of you to participate in my writing project by praying for me. It's a lot of work to write a book. It's a lot of work to record these videos. I think this is my 8th attempt at this one. I just can't get the words out today. So I would appreciate your prayers that God would lead me and guide me in my studies and as I pass along to you what I'm learning. And as always, I love to hear your comments and what you're discovering in the biblical text. So go ahead and leave your comments below, and have a great week.